You load in towels, set the cycle, wait an hour, open the door, and everything is still damp. So you run it again. This machine costs more than your last one. It promised smarter sensors, better efficiency, gentler care, and it cannot dry a load of jeans. You are not imagining this. The simple dryer, the one that ran for 20 years on a motor, a belt, and a timer, is dead. And what replaced it was not designed to work better for you. It was designed to score better on a test most people have never heard of. You pull open the door expecting the warm embrace of freshly dried laundry. Instead, you reach into the drum and feel that familiar, irritating chill. The towels are heavy. The seams of your jeans are cold and clammy. The bed sheets are wound into a tight, damp rope. This isn't an old, broken appliance. It is a modern machine covered in glowing lights and digital badges promising peak efficiency. Yet, the basic act of drying clothes has somehow been overcomplicated. Running a second cycle is no longer an occasional annoyance. It has become a standard part of your laundry routine. You find yourself resetting the timer, pushing start again, and watching your utility bill climb while the drum tumbles for another hour. We have been sold a promise of progress, appliances that are supposedly gentler on fabrics and better for the home. But on laundry day, that progress feels like a massive step backward. The core purpose of a dryer is simple: get clothes dry. When a machine fails at that basic task, all the smart alerts in the world cannot hide the fact that you paid more for a machine that does less. Before we overcomplicated the laundry room, the clothes dryer was a remarkably honest piece of engineering. It did not try to think for you. It did not connect to your Wi-Fi, and it did not feature a touch screen. It was simply a metal box designed to spin clothes through hot air. For decades, the standard vented dryer relied on a short list of understandable parts: a rotating drum, a rubber belt, an electric motor, a blower fan, a heat source, a lint screen, an exhaust vent, and a mechanical dial timer. This was a completely readable machine. If it stopped working, the failure was almost always physical and logical. If the drum stopped turning, the belt had snapped. If the air ran cold, the heating element had burned out, a thermal fuse had tripped, or the gas igniter had failed. If the clothes took too long to dry, you cleaned the lint screen or cleared a clogged exhaust vent. You could trace almost every single fault to one obvious, inexpensive component. This legible design meant that any homeowner with a screwdriver and 20 minutes could swap out a faulty thermostat or a worn-out drum roller. There were no proprietary software codes to decipher, no sealed control boards to replace, and no electronic sensors to fail. Because these machines were designed to be serviced rather than discarded, they routinely lasted 15 to 20 years. They were built to work, built to last, and built to be understood. In May 2014, the rules of laundry changed. The United States Environmental Protection Agency finalized the first Energy Star specification for clothes dryers, which took effect on January 1, 2015. Suddenly, the appliance industry faced a new benchmark: the combined energy factor, a metric measuring pounds of dry clothing per kilowatt hour. To earn the blue Energy Star badge, new dryers had to consume at least 20% less energy than the federal minimum standard. This changed the engineering brief overnight. Manufacturers were no longer rewarded for building a machine that dried clothes quickly. They were rewarded for building a machine that used less power per run. To hit these government targets, engineers had to redesign the cycle. Since high heat consumes massive amounts of electricity, the easiest way to save power was to turn down the temperature. But cooler air evaporates water much slower. To compensate, manufacturers added electronic moisture sensors and extended the runtime. Your simple high-heat machine was replaced by a low-heat, long-cycle computer. Drying clothes requires a precise thermodynamic balance: heat to turn liquid water into vapor, airflow to carry that vapor away, and tumbling to ensure every fiber meets the air. For decades, older vented machines mastered this with a brutal, effective formula: push hard and finish fast. They blasted laundry with high heat, vaporized moisture instantly, and pushed it out of the house in under an hour. When you pull temperature out of that equation to meet an efficiency standard, the physics of evaporation break down. Lower heat means water stays trapped in the fabric longer. The drum must spin, the fan must blow, and the motor must run for double or triple the time just to coax the dampness out. On paper, running a cooler heating element for 2 hours uses less peak energy than running a hot one for 45 minutes. But in the real world, your laundry load is the ultimate truth teller. You do not experience this highly optimized redesign as a technological breakthrough. You experience it as a weaker, slower machine that holds your clothes hostage. The heat pump dryer is the absolute embodiment of this modern engineering shift. Instead of blasting hot, wet air through a vent pipe and out of your house, this unvented closed-loop machine continuously recycles its own heat. Internally, it operates like a refrigerator running in reverse, cooling the air to condense and extract moisture, then reheating that same air to tumble through the drum again. On paper, this design is an efficiency triumph. A heat pump dryer uses roughly 30 to 60% less electricity than a conventional electric resistance model. That massive drop is exactly what regulators want to see on an energy label. But on laundry day, you pay for that efficiency with your time. Because these machines operate at much lower temperatures, the drying process is slow and agonizing. A load of heavy bath towels, bulky bedding, or mixed fabrics becomes a punishing test of patience. Cycles that once took 45 minutes in a traditional vented machine now stretch to 2 hours, often running 2 to 2.5 times longer. You are locked into an unavoidable trade-off. You save cents on your power bill, but you lose your afternoon. The appliance industry chose efficiency ratings over your real-world convenience, and you are left waiting. Under European Union Regulation 392/2012, the highly prized energy efficiency rating is calculated using a single standardized program, the Eco cycle. This means the Eco button on your control panel is not actually designed for your daily life. It is designed for the regulator's test bench. On this test bench, time is treated as a free resource. To score a top rating, manufacturers swap heat for hours. They run the drum at lower temperatures for much longer, turning what used to be a simple chore into an agonizing 2-hour marathon. The machine uses less peak power, but it takes double the time. European labels now explicitly force manufacturers to list both energy consumption and cycle duration right on the sticker. Regulators had to step in because they realized that left unchecked, efficiency targets would push cycle times to absurd lengths. The program built to win the label is the very program that holds your laundry hostage. To make these long, low-heat cycles work, manufacturers rely on 2 small strips of metal inside the drum, moisture sensor bars. These sensors measure electrical conductivity. When wet clothes tumble against them, they complete a low-voltage circuit, telling the computer that the load is still wet. But this system assumes a perfect world. In reality, a single tangled sheet can wrap around damp clothes, shielding them from the sensors. A small load might miss the bars entirely, riding the drum paddles without ever making contact. Thick waistbands on jeans and heavy hoods on sweatshirts stay wet, while thin t-shirts trick the machine into declaring an early victory. Even worse, the very products you use to make laundry feel soft can quietly disable this technology. Fabric softeners and dryer sheets leave a thin, waxy coating of chemical residue directly on the metal bars. This invisible layer insulates the sensors, falsely signaling that everything is bone dry. The machine abruptly shuts off, leaving you with cold, clammy clothes and a smart appliance that is functionally blind. A clothes dryer is primarily an AR flow machine. Heat only loosens the water's grip on your clothes. Airflow carries that moisture out of the drum. But the modern home is a hostile place for moving air. A partially blocked lint screen, a crushed foil hose behind the cabinet, or a long, twisting duct run through a crawl space all build static pressure. This resistance chokes the system, cutting the cubic feet of air moving through the drum. When you restrict this flow by 50%, drying times jump by 40%. Older high-heat dryers could sometimes blast through a partially clogged duct with brute force and high temperatures. Modern, low-heat machines cannot, because these low-energy designs operate with razor-thin margins and cooler temperatures. They have zero tolerance for restricted airflow. A clogged outside flap, a dirty condenser, or a layer of fine lint on a heat exchanger immediately cripples performance. Engineers built these machines assuming your home has perfectly clean, straight ductwork, a luxury most real-world utility rooms simply do not have. But the burden of keeping this sensitive airflow alive has been shifted entirely onto you. With older dryers, maintenance meant scooping a dry layer of lint off a single screen. Modern condenser and heat pump dryers turn you into an unpaid part-time service technician. These closed-loop systems require a complex maze of secondary filters, delicate evaporator coils, and sealed heat exchangers. Manufacturers now quietly instruct owners to pull out and wash these secondary filters every 10 to 15 loads, sometimes after just a few runs. Neglecting this chore triggers immediate consequences. Fine dust bypasses the main screen and bakes onto the wet metal fins of the heat exchanger, insulating the system. AR flow chokes, drying times drag on, and your highly optimized appliance draws more power trying to push through the blockage. Eventually, the machine gives up, leaving you with a drum of wet laundry and an error code. Older dryers used a heavy mechanical dial. Turn it, and a tiny motor physically advanced gears, closing copper contacts to send electricity straight to the heating element. It was direct, logical, and nearly indestructible. Today, that dial is just a plastic encoder sending low-voltage signals to a sealed printed circuit board. This microcontroller is the absolute gatekeeper of the machine, processing data from a complex network of thermistors, moisture sensors, door micro relays, digital displays, and Wi-Fi modules. When your laundry stays damp, the physical components, the motor, the belt, the heater, are often completely fine. Instead, the failure is digital. A drifting thermistor, a cracked solder joint, or a communication error between the interface and the main board will silently paralyze the machine. The mechanical tool has been replaced by a sealed tech product. What once was a straightforward physical fix is now an opaque electronic diagnosis, leaving you staring at a cryptic error code while your clothes sit cold and wet. The real death of a modern dryer rarely happens because the steel drum splits or the motor burns out. It happens on a paper invoice. When a machine stops running, labor rates, diagnostic fees, and proprietary parts markups instantly transform a minor component failure into a replacement decision. A standard repair today routinely lands between $100 and $400, or up to 300 pounds. If the machine is anywhere between 7 and 10 years old, the service technician will typically advise you to discard it. The math is brutal and deliberate. At this age threshold, the cost of a single repair approaches the price of a new replacement. The physical machine, still 90% functional, is declared a total loss. Planned economics end the machine's life, while the physical hardware remains perfectly intact. You are forced to throw away a massive steel appliance because a single, sealed control board has been priced to make repair completely irrational. The system is designed to turn a repairable tool into a disposable consumer product. Lint is highly combustible fuel. When this dry fiber accumulates inside a hot cabinet with restricted airflow, it creates a predictable fire hazard. United States fire agencies report thousands of residential dryer fires every year, identifying a failure to clean the venting system as the leading cause. Sometimes, the danger is built directly into the cabinet. In 2015, a major safety issue became public in the United Kingdom when Whirlpool admitted that millions of tumble dryers sold under the Hotpoint, Andesit, Creta, Swan, and Proline brands possessed a design defect. Lint was escaping the drum, gathering directly against the heating element and igniting. For these families, a flaw in lint management bypassed safety devices and turned a basic household chore into a sudden house fire. The very material the machine was supposed to clean, from your clothes, had become the source of its destruction. Walk into an appliance showroom today, and you are greeted by sleek designer finishes, glowing touchscreens, and heavy glass doors. Manufacturers pitch Wi-Fi connectivity, smartphone alerts, and steam cycles as premium upgrades. But none of these cosmetic additions dry clothes any faster or make the machine last longer. They are showroom bait designed to inflate the price tag. In the real world, premium pricing does not buy durability. Real ownership advantages rely on boring, unmarketable basics. Strong airflow, simple controls, easily accessible filters, and standardized parts supported by a local repair network. The smart branding is just a distraction from a machine that has been over-engineered to fail sooner and cost more to fix. Today, we pay premium prices for machines engineered to pass lab tests rather than dry our clothes. As complexity drives up repair costs, we are left with a frustrating choice: adapt to damp laundry or buy another disposable appliance. The system isn't failing, it's performing exactly as designed. Tell us your appliance survival stories in the comments below. If you're tired of products that fail before they should, subscribe. This channel is about exposing the design choices that made everything worse and finding what's still worth buying.